Hi, I'm Dr. Billy Retzloff, and welcome back to ABA-ish. This is a YouTube channel that is dedicated to giving you real-life supports that are rooted in the science of behavior. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how to use declarative language if you are supporting an individual who has a difficult time with demands. So this might be true for your toddler. Oftentimes, my toddlers get into little kind of phases, I guess, where no matter what, if I am telling them to do it, they are going to tell me no. I use it in those situations, but this also might be helpful when you're working with older individuals, students who, find demands to be very aversive, or even adults that you know who might struggle when given direct commands of what to do. So a declarative statement is simply something that is not a command. So it's a description, a statement, a noticing. It's you just describing something that you are seeing. Oftentimes, declarative statements sound like I wonder, I noticed, I see, or I'm thinking. These are kind of sentence starters that you can use. So if you're struggling to turn something into a declarative statement, you can kind of just start with one of these to help get you there, right? So I noticed, and then say what you noticed. I see, what do you see? I heard, I'm thinking, whatever it may be. Declarative language is in opposition to imperative language. So imperative language is when we give that direct command. We specify an action or tell an individual exactly what we want them to do. Our goal for using declarative language is to make the situation less aversive to the individual, so to ease up how much that command impacts them. So when we use declarative language, we get to prompt the student or child to think of a solution on their own and offer up autonomy or control. So our declarative language, it invites action. It invites the individual to come up with an action on their own. Whereas imperative language is really going to require an action. We're going to tell the individual what it is they need to do. So let me give you an example with my own toddler son of a time that declarative language came in really handy. So last night he was outside riding his bicycle and he really wanted to take his bicycle all the way on a long walk that we do sometimes. But I didn't have time for that. We had to get inside and get bath night going. His sister was already at home waiting for us, and we were just down the street. We could see our home, and I was telling him, I need you to go this way towards our home. I need you to drive home. My toddler was having none of that. He was yelling and screaming, telling me, no, 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 that way, that way. So I took a deep breath, thought about it for a minute, and decided to try to switch my language from this imperative command of telling him exactly what to do to a more declarative statement. And I said, I wonder what your sister's doing at home. She already went home. I wonder what she's doing back there. All of a sudden, my toddler's mentality completely shifted. Instead of demanding that we go the other way, he turned and looked at me and said, Sister at home? And I was like, yeah, she is already at home. What do you think she's doing there? I don't know. And he said, I go find out. And he rode his bicycle home, which is exactly what I wanted. So by switching from the imperative language of go this way and telling him exactly what he had to do, I stopped that power struggle and instead gave him that invitation to come up with his own solution. How would we figure out what sister is doing at home? Well, the solution he came up with is we go home and we see what that is. Here's a few more examples of times that you can turn imperative language into declarative language. So you might tell a student something like do problem number 1. That's a command. We've told them exactly what to do. But if a student really struggles with demands and finds them highly aversive, this might evoke a lot of escape maintain behavior. So instead, I might say something like, which section looks like the best place to start? I might have to tell my children, brush your teeth. But instead, I could use a declarative statement and think, okay, we just got our jammies on. I wonder what we should do next. Instead of telling somebody to go get their bag, their Chromebook, whatever item it is that they've forgotten, you could say, I noticed you forgot something. This invites the action of figuring out what they forgot and rectifying the situation, but it gives them the autonomy to do that on their own and to be in control of that situation. Instead of saying go to class, you might say something like, I heard the bell and I noticed that we're still in the hallway. right? Those are not commands. I have not told them what to do, but I'm making a noticing statement and I'm inviting them to figure out what is the action that you need to do now on their own. Clean up this mess. That's a demand. I've told them what they need to do. A really small tweak is just to say, this mess needs to be cleaned. Again, that's just a statement of fact. I'm not commanding them to do anything. I'm noticing that there's a mess that needs to be cleaned. They can come up on their own with how they're going to rectify or solve that problem. Maybe they would say something like, I'll go get the vacuum, or do you think you could help me clean it up? Whatever that may be. But I've shifted my language from requiring an action to inviting an action. I hope this was helpful in helping you understand what declarative language is and how you can use it with individuals to support more cooperation and shift your focus away from compliance. If you like this, please subscribe, like, or share the video to support me in future endeavors. Thanks.